Hi everybody, it's Dandruff with your news Cartridge for Wednesday, October 5th, 2016. A report has been given about some of the details of the sales figures of PES compared to FIFA. EA sold about 40 times the number of copies over Konami, making you wonder why Konami even bothers trying anymore. Ubisoft unfortunately confirmed today the split-screen multiplayer had to be dropped from For Honor. Co-op multiplayer and campaign multiplayer are still included. A leak of the Call of Duty Infinite Warfare box art reveals the install size of 130 gigabytes. Now, for those of you freaking out, calm your tits. Remember, this is for 2 games, okay, not just one, and games get bigger over time. That's what they do. The original Doom fit onto a 3.5-inch floppy disk, and the one that came out earlier this year is 45 gigabytes. So, it happens, okay? After the Kombat Pack 2 released for Mortal Kombat for PC yesterday, players of the game are much happier with the improved netcode and the addition of the Xenomorph and Leatherface. Yeah, who would have thought that a complete product would make people happy? And that brings us to our first release announcement. Syberia 3 has been delayed until sometime next year. The developers want to add more cinematics to better broaden the narrative. If Pokemon Go has not come to your country yet, then you may be in luck as the app just launched in 31 new countries. Please see the description down below for a full list, as well as links for sources for all of today's stories. Beyond Good and Evil 2 is coming at some point. Not much is known about a release date, but the original Good and Evil will be free starting next week for a month for Ubisoft Club members. If you live in Europe and want to play the Resident Evil 7 demo, then the good news is it's finally coming to your country. The bad news is it's only going to be included with the PSVR, so you'll have to buy the headset in order to play it. Recore has been updated for Xbox One and Windows 10, and it got an update to address the long loading times, and a 30-minute free trial of the game is now available on the Windows 10 store and the Xbox Marketplace. Also with an update is Forza Horizon 3, fixing some frame rate issues and gives better support for racing wheels. Finally, for teasers, Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remaster's campaign is now playable even without the Infinite Warfare disc. That is if you pre-ordered the Legacy Edition of Infinite Warfare. How many of you are going to play it and then cancel your pre-order? Valve has been asked to explain themselves about the CSGO gambling scandal, and this time, they have to talk. Find out why next on News Cartridge. The Steam Marketplace as we know it could possibly be changing forever. The Washington State Gambling Commission revealed they have sent a letter to Valve telling them to, quote, immediately stop allowing the transfer of Counter-Strike Global Offensive virtual weapons for gambling activities. And Valve, explain how it is in full compliance with Washington's gambling laws or risk having the Gambling Commission take civil or criminal action. The state is not fucking around here either. This is not some games media journalist asking for a comment. This is a legal demand, and if Valve does not respond, which is their usual course of action, then they will suffer consequence. In my opinion, they're probably going to be taken to court anyway, but I think it would be less costly for them to try to state their case to the commission and avoid court, explaining why they weren't doing anything wrong in the first place. Valve has previously released a statement forbidding all CSGO gambling sites, so they technically have taken steps to stop it from happening, but it's really hard to say how this will go in court as I'm not a legal expert. I'm not on Valve's side either. I want this shit to stop. I think the bigger problem is the site OP Skins. Now, I do not have anything personal against OP Skins, but it is this site which gives CSGO skins a real-world value. Selling them on the Steam Marketplace only nets users Steam currency, only to be spent on more of Valve's products. And after going over Steam's terms of service, I'm not sure that OP Skins is doing anything wrong in the eyes of Valve. Valve allows for third-party marketplaces for the trading of items in your Steam inventory, and this is what might change. Potentially, the commission could prevent them from allowing third-party sites from trading and selling items, meaning everything in your Steam inventory could only be worth Steam credit. Now, this is the kicker. The State Commission ends by saying it is our sincere hope that Valve not only comply, but also take proactive steps to work with the Commission on future measures that will benefit the public and protect consumers. You want Valve to be proactive? This is a company that knew its professional CSGO players were gambling with skins for years and only did anything about it when it came to light that people were allegedly rigging bets. So yeah, you're probably only going to get Valve to do something about this once. No Man's Sky is in the news today, but believe it or not, this is not about Hello Games or Sean Murray. Both of their Twitter accounts are quiet, so there's nothing to go off of there. The subreddit for No Man's Sky was deleted yesterday, not long after it went private. Usually this happens when a moderator's account is hacked, but that is not the case. This was done intentionally. Moderator Rogue Wolf, with zeros, has lived up to his name and is no longer with that particular part of Reddit. He claims the community is a hate-filled waste hole of no actual discussion. And look, I myself have struggled with the fallacy of they're wrong because they don't like the thing as much as I like the thing, but that's nonsense. If you don't want to moderate a community, that's fine, but to not want to address actual concerns about the game, like the silence of the developer, then you should probably hand off the leadership to someone else who can take it. Trying to silence people is only going to make them talk about it more. For now, the mods of the No Man's Sky subreddit have it under control and are even allowing things like the discussion of the removal of the former owner. Stay tuned to News Cartridge as we covered more on No Man's Sky and see if Sean Murray ever breaks his silence. In the quick spot today, there is a possibility a game designer for World of Warcraft revealed the number of subscribers Blizzard now has after the release of Legion, the game's latest expansion. Tom Chilton is allegedly quoted 10.1 million subscribers, which would put WoW very close to its peak of roughly 12 million. Now, after he made this statement to NeoGAF, Blizzard claims what he said is a mistranslation because the company does not officially disclose its subscriber numbers anymore, insisting Mr. Chilton did not talk about numbers. So I guess it's up to you how to interpret this information. Finally today, there might be a delay on the sequel/spin-off of Five Nights at Freddy's sister location. Developer Scott Cawthon says, quote, "There are certain plot elements that are very dark, to the point I sometimes feel sick. There would be no easy fix to this. I either release it on Friday as it is, or I delay it by several months to completely rework the plot into something kid-friendly." Now, there are two ways to take this. Scott Cawthon is genuinely concerned about the psyche of children, as he's aware that's the majority of people who play his games and don't want to expose them to something they may be too young for. Or it's a damn publicity stunt just to build hype. My bet is on the hype train. Look, you don't all of a sudden get worried that your scary games for children are gonna scare kids. It would be like if NetherRealm Studios suddenly cared that Mortal Kombat X were too violent, or if Konami cared about any sort of decency at all. It's just not going to happen. If you're a fan of Five Nights at Freddy's, please learn from all of the other crap that's come out this year. Please wait for the reviews on this one, and I'm going to start taking stuff like this as a warning sign, not a challenge. Once again, welcome to tomorrow's game releases for PC: Blockpocalypse, Duke Grabowski, Mighty Swashbuckler, Frog Climbers, Inklings, Best in Show Solitaire, Industry Manager Future Technologies, Shenzhen IO, Endless Space 2, Syndrome, Laser Disco Defenders, Bug Speed Collider, Star Vikings, Detective Hayseed Hollywood, Aegis, and Infinite Mini Golf. For Nintendo Wii U, Ninja Pizza Girl, and Hurry Up Bird Hunter. For Nintendo 3DS, Pixel Hunter. Thank you very much, everybody. This has been News Cartridge. I am Dandruff. I will see you tomorrow. And did you know you can tell the gender of an ant by throwing it in water? If it sinks, girl ant. If it floats, buoyant.